I'm in graduate school, and so for a leadership management course, 6300, I went to China to study abroad for 2 weeks, and that was an amazing trip. I had to do fundraisers so that I could be able to afford my ticket. I did fundraisers so that I can get the vaccinations. And just any other items that I needed to purchase before the trip. Of course, I had to get a visa, passport, vaccinations, which are not covered through my insurance because going to study abroad is considered optional. It's not something that is necessary or requirement for, say for example, work. If work required that I needed some vaccinations, I could get that covered. But because it was traveling and it's optional, it's not necessary, I had to pay for that cost out of my own pocket. The first place that I went to, they got me. I paid $400 for 3 shots, and then they had an office visit fee. And anyway, I paid a lot of money. I was talking to one of my friends, Chastity. Thank you, Chastity, for telling me that information. I went to Health and Human Services, and I received vaccinations for a lower cost. So that's just, if you travel abroad, go to your Health and Human Services and you can get vaccinations at a cheaper cost. You're gonna see me looking down. I'm looking at my Surface because I typed up all my notes on my Surface, all the points that I wanted to touch. So anyway, so I had my vaccinations. That was cheaper. Had to get the visa, the passport, and all that type of good stuff. Everything that you need to prepare to get ready. It's very costly, very expensive. That cost did not cover my tuition and fees. So that was an additional cost, but that was covered through student loans. If you saw my previous video from a while back on how good God has been to me and how he just opened up doors and just people just poured their hearts to me, and they helped me to reach my goal of purchasing my ticket to China, which was $14.50. And I'm just so grateful to all of those people that donated. They did not have to do it, but because they believed in what I am trying to achieve, they saw fit for them to give me donations. And I received donations that varied from $20 on up to $100. I'm sorry, to $200. People were very generous, and I just really appreciate them. And like I said in my other video, a closed mouth does not get fed. If you're just going to be timid and afraid to ask people for money, and it's something that you really want to accomplish, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're not going to get anything done. So let me talk about my flight. The flight to China was 15 hours long. I was very fearful of this flight because I have a fear of flying. And the turbulence is just so much. It drives me insane. I just hate that going down and feeling like, we're just going down so many thousands of feet. So I had to do some research on turbulence, and I learned through research that turbulence is only about 10 feet or so, but it just feels like you're dropping forever. So I was pretty fearful about this, and I didn't know if the plane was going to be small or large or whatever. And as you can see from the pictures that I'm going to put here, the plane was a nice size plane. It wasn't two decks, it was just one, but it was a nice size plane. I tell you, I love the flight. We were on there for 15 hours, but honestly, it did not feel like 15 hours. That may sound strange, but you have to sleep. They give you meals, and the food is good. I enjoyed the food on the plane. And you have movies, You can do homework, you can read. I had a great time. I enjoyed being on the plane. I thought it was a good experience. Only thing that I don't too much care for having to sit in the middle, but I'm a small person, so that wasn't as bad. So when the people on the outside, my classmates on the outside, whenever they would get up to go to the bathroom, I would get up and go to the bathroom also, because I felt like I was disturbing them. You know how it is, but sometimes if I had to go, I would just say, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, blah, 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 so I can just go ahead and go. But anyway, it was quite pleasant. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to my next international flight. Looking forward to it. So when we arrived to China, one thing that you will notice is that they will stare at you, and they'll stare at you a lot. They have not seen many black people in China at all. Matter of fact, while I was there in China, I didn't see many black people at all there. Very few. Other than the people that was in my study abroad group, slim to none amount of black people that were there. So with that being said, they stare at you a bunch. They get right into your face and stare. And they don't care if they stare at you. They're not apologetic or anything. They just get up in your face and they stare and they look at you. Now, of course, my hair is natural. They were fascinated with my hair. Some were fascinated, some were creeped out. I had one waitress, and here's another thing. They will just touch your hair. They won't ask if they can touch your hair. They will just touch it. So it was one waitress. We were at this Chinese restaurant. They had some really good soup. But anyway, it was this one waitress that was there, just sitting there trying to order my food. And here she goes, touching my hair. And she says something, ooh, creepy. I looked, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything at all because, you know, China, that's a communist country. They have a lot of different laws from the United States. You don't want to be in prison abroad. That's all I'm going to say. So, of course, I didn't say anything to her. I just looked, because you got to think, they are not used to seeing black people at all. And then a black person with natural hair, people just came up to me left and right, touching my hair, wanting to take pictures with me. I got to the point, the first couple of days, I'm like, oh man, I feel like a local celebrity. But then after a few days, I didn't want to take any more pictures with any more Chinese people. And when I saw them getting ready to approach me, because you could tell when they're trying to approach you, when I saw them getting ready to approach me, I would turn my back. Or my roommate would say, here comes another one, here comes another one. So I would turn my back. I got tired of taking pictures with Chinese people. I did. I honestly got so sick and tired. And I asked the other people that was in my group. Majority of the black people in my group, they were Africans. And so I asked them, did you experience a lot of staring and people want to take pictures with you? I'm like, I didn't know if it was because I'm black or because my hair is natural, or maybe it's just a mixture of both. One of the African girls, she had weave, and the other African girl, she had braids, and they wanted to take pictures with them just as well. Two of the guys, one of them was African, the other guy, he was African American, but they all wanted to take pictures with us. So anyway, be prepared, get ready for that. If you have an attitude problem, China's not the place where you want to go. You just need to stay at home if you're gonna have an attitude. Now, I had an attitude facially. My facial expressions were just sick and tired. But as far as me trying to mouth off and, you know, get all physical and hands, and no, didn't do that. You don't want to be abroad in prison. That's the last thing you want. So the places that we went to, and I'm going to include the places that we have visited in this video. We went to the Great Wall, Summer Palace, Forbidden City, and Confucius Home. And look, those attractions are breathtaking, mesmerizing. You have to see it in person. You truly have to see it in person. The pictures are nice, but the pictures do not do it justice. I mean, the Great Wall was so magnificent. I mean, it's just massive. You can see the Great Wall from outer space, from space. It is, I mean, it was just a blessing. I was just like thanking God. I was like, God, thank you that I have been able to witness this with my own eyes, that I have pictures that I can share with family and friends. It was an amazing time. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would love to go back to China with my family, just so they could see, my family and friends, so they could see and witness it for themselves, because it is amazing. Summer Palace, Forbidden City, I mean, the buildings are just out of this world. The details in the architecture is phenomenal. The pictures, you'll see the pictures. It is just amazing. It is absolutely amazing how creative people can be. And they really place their temples in such high regards. Some places there were, we were not allowed to take any pictures in the inside. And I respected that. Some people, they didn't respect that, and they took pictures anyway, but I didn't take any pictures. If it said don't take any pictures, I respected that, because that is what's the word I'm looking for, but anyway, it's sacred. It's very sacred to them, and it's just beautiful. It's just really, really beautiful, and I can't really express it the way that I want to. You just have to take a visit to China and see it for yourself, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Oh my God. How awesome is this? Say something, Carolyn.